All right, here we are, another week around the trash fire. Your host, Matthias, on with the boy.
John.
It's a lot of news this week.
Yeah, there's a ton of news this week, which is awesome because I love news.
I do too, and don't have to struggle to bring stuff up.
Yeah,
But
don't have to invent news.
exactly. Oh, I mean, last week was LVO, so
Oh yeah, that was a fun chat.
plenty to talk about there. But let's start with the boring stuff first, shall we?
Let's do it.
So the first thing we got here is our coin of the month and
Yeah,
model of the
the
month.
orc coin for some interesting reason.
Yeah, you'd think this would be something Eldari related,
Right, right.
because didn't the Orc cleanse come out already?
Yeah, they already had their book, so it's interesting that they have an orc coin, unless they forgot one that time or something. I don't know.
You think you think they care anymore? You think they're just gonna release a coin no matter what,
Oh yeah,
and
I
just
think they're
not
just
tie
really.
it with anything?
I'm pretty sure they're just releasing coins at this point.
Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, because they can't even release a codex a month, so
For real. Breaking production issues are so annoying.
true. And then we got the Dire Avenger, which means Dire Avengers are not being updated. So
Indeed. At least not this release.
yep,
Which is
that
okay. That's okay.
it's okay. I think the only criticism I ever hear about the Dire Avenger is the helmet. No one likes the fluff on the helmet.
That's definitely not changing.
Yep. But other than that, I mean, still solid model. But yeah, that's that. So model of the month, and coin of the month. Strange choice for the coin, but whatever. That's GW. Next up, we got the balance sheet finally got
Yes,
released, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought this already came out like a long time ago.
it did. It did. There was a minor update, I believe, to Dark Eldar. Um, Plus there were some other FAQs. But yeah, the balance up the balance data sheet. I mean, I wish I'm just being picky, but I did wish that they highlighted the change. Like highlight the Dark Eldar, the Drukhari part. It's like this is new, because the rest is the same. No changes to Guard, Chaos Marines, Necrons, Orcs. It's
Mm,
exactly the same.
it's all the same. Rip for the Dark Eldar players, rip your Chronos and Talos, losing a core.
Yeah.
No more rerolls and real space raid. So that's quite sad to hear. Other than
Yeah.
that, I mean, nothing really changed. Or at least nothing really dramatic that we didn't already know about.
Yeah.
I was
Um.
hoping I
al-
was hoping for something, but whatever.
Although, did you hear about this truck boy debacle?
No,
So
enlighten
do you know,
me.
you know what truck boys are?
Do I know what truck boys are?
For,
uh
for orcs?
is that a car full of boys?
Yes. Well, it's a special car full of boys. So in the orc codex, there's an upgrade for orc boys that makes them truck. So essentially it replaces their clan rule with truck boys, and they're able to essentially charge after disembarking.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, right? So there, and the main FAQ, there they had a change where they clarified that if a unit has a rule that counts them as being stationary when they disembark, right? You
Right.
following?
I'm following.
Yeah. So if they have a rule that makes them kind of stationary, they still cannot charge, which makes sense, right? They're just clarifying. Yeah, oh, just because you have a rule that says you're stationary when you disembark, it still means you charge because you can't charge when you disembark, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the way they formatted the thing, they put like a space between those two clauses. So people are saying that, oh, the truck boys can't charge anymore. Games Workshop hates orcs, or like, oh, orcs, non-orc players are like, oh, well, then you can't charge with truck boys now, which is kind of the point of truck boys. So I think that's definitely not as intended.
I'm sure they'll
Um,
give us an FAQ for the FAQ.
I'm
So
sure. I'm sure. It's one of those things where like I don't think it's necessarily Games Workshop that Games Workshop's rule incompetence, but we already know that rules aren't their strongest suit. But it's just hard to to cover all your bases in a game this big. Of like, oh, we gotta make sure that every single scenario is accounted for. I think this is epitomized by the table. Did you see the table quarters clarification?
no, go ahead.
So in the FAQ, the main one, they clarified what table quarters are because I guess people weren't clear on what the hell a table quarter is.
Is that in the chapter approved mission pack?
Yeah, no, it's in the core book FAQ or the core book errata on the first page on the bottom right. It says battlefield quarters, and it's like why like this had to be clarified because people were asking about this, which is again just points to how like yeah, like every single scenario is gonna be you know like people you gotta clarify it. You can't just use common sense because the rules have to be like legal documents where every specific thing has to be accounted for.
That's because us Americans like to power game the whole system.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely 100%. But
But
yeah, like man, that's just hilarious to
I
me.
agree that this shouldn't really be specified, but
Right,
there's someone out there.
right.
That
Um,
is funny though.
Now to be fair, right? Like you could divide this into like four. I think one of them was like so if you do an X, it's not gonna work because it's not even. But if you do four individual bars, like rectangles, it does fit the description of four even quarters. But yeah, they had to clarify this is what they mean when they do table quarters. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Well, it wouldn't be GW if there wasn't a bunch of more questions for the errata.
Oh, of course, of course.
But yeah, I didn't even know because I didn't bother to check. I just kind of checked my armies, and I was like, yeah, look at that, nothing changed.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't check that either. I just saw like people talking about in Facebook groups, like did the headline being, "Did this really have to be answered?" And it's like, yep, this had to be clarified. Someone didn't know.
Yeah, well, it's sad to see, but there we go. Balance changes, and plus, I think the chapter approve comes out this week, right? Or
Yes,
was
it
it last
does.
week? Okay, it is this week.
Or I
So,
think it was already.
well, I hope the custodians have fun with their new reduced points. So,
Yes.
can't believe that even a thing.
Of course, the thing.
But moving on, something that caught my attention here: the Crusades, getting better with friends. Uh, Not much news here. I just wanted to bring this up because when I saw this title and I didn't read it, I'm like, oh no, we're going back to 6th edition here. We're gonna have the Taudar
Oh,
start
allies.
start dominating everything. But luckily, it's just like, yeah, why don't you just bring in Black Templars with your Salamanders or something stupid like that? I'm like, oh, okay. You're just now being able to mix chapters and
I think it's
certain Imperial armies together, kind of
yeah.
deal.
This seems like a PR move after the FAQ that, or I guess in the chapter approver, you can't ally armies. You can't soup anymore, essentially.
Right.
And just reminding like, hey guys, this is only for match play. Like if you play narrative, like this is you could still do that. You know, there's no Games Workshop police. going into your friendly game and saying, "Oh no, you can't combine Black Templars and Salamanders. That's illegal." You still totally can if unless you're playing a match play game with the what's it called the grand tournament rules, GT rules.
Right. Well, yeah. I just wanted to bring this up because I when I first saw this article, I was like, ah, no.
The
Here comes
allies are back.
here comes the Taudar. But I'm happy to see that they're still keeping a line with
Yes, thankfully.
just souping within your own faction. But yeah, not much to talk about here. So I just wanted to bring that up. Funny interaction. Next up, we got Warcry. Underworld armies or models are coming to Warcry, which you know what? I'm happy. I'm glad that this is happening. I feel like the Underworld models fit well into the Warcry setting.
Absolutely. I mean, people, myself included, are already using Warcry models or sorry, Underworlds models in Warcry, but now this is giving them specific rules, which hopefully means that they cost more points and all that. And yeah, it lets you use the cool Warcry models, especially the models that don't have a Warcry equivalent. By that I mean, for example, if you look at the Lumineth Underworlds Warband, like it's pretty clear that one of them's a Swordmaster, the other's an Archer, the other one's a Cow Warrior, and the other one's well, the Wizard has no equivalent, but the rest of them, you could just substitute them for the regular unit equivalent. But now that they'll have their own special rules as characters, so they'll have more unique effects. Although they did specify that these special characters are not going to have you can't give them items and stuff, which makes sense. They're special characters; they don't have relics and all that.
Right. But
But
now I can use my crab.
yes, you could use your crab in your Deepkin Warband if you like.
I do like. It just makes me happy that I can use them outside of just. Well, I mean, I never play the game, Underworlds, but I play Warcry every now and then, so it'd be nice to use them in that.
Yeah, I wish the I'm trying to. I should reread my Warcry rules to see if there's ways for different factions within a Grand Alliance to have the same warband because I think Destruction has three separate warbands with animals. Like there's the monkey, the crab, the bat squig. That would be cool. Just have a warband of animals.
Be interesting to see what would happen. But speaking of Warcry, in this week's Sunday preview, we got a lot of Warcry. We got the Tome of Champions book coming out for, I don't know, this is 2021.
Yeah, this is the yearly update for Warcry, and I own all of these, and they're pretty good. It's not just like it's not like chapter approved or like you buy it for the points of the missions and you just ignore the rest. Like this stuff, it has content for narrative, which is mainly why you play Warcry. And it just has new campaigns, new rules. Like I'm really hyped about the the we were talking about earlier the Underworlds guys. They're getting the rules here, which is super cool. I think they're adding siege missions, and it seems that just more quests in general. So
Here's my
it's pretty hype.
question for you.
Yes.
Did I miss it? Did these spider guys, Chaos Warriors, did they ever come out?
No, on their own, no.
But the two-player box set came out.
Correct. Yep.
Huh. Weird. I feel like I have not seen it.
Yeah, it came out. I think Will got one,
Hmm.
but I think it came out right not too long after it was announced, so it just kind of came and went, and then we forgot about it.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. Because I remember I was really hyped for the spider models, but yeah, it kind of just fell off. And then when I saw this picture, I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah, they exist.
they exist. I forgot about that.
Yeah, absolutely exist.
And then we're getting the Warcry starter sets here.
These
So
are so cool because some of these they take units and they split them, and by that I mean let's say I think the Lumineth is the best example. So the Lumineth box has so the spearmen and the archers come in boxes of 10 in A for AOS. So if you want to buy archers, you gotta buy 10 archers, and spearmen, you gotta buy 10 spearmen. But the boxes are just they give you 2 sprues of 5, so you can build 10.
Hmm.
But this box lets you build it essentially just gives you just those this the sprue, the single sprue that lets you build 5, which gives you more variety for the same price point. So essentially, you're getting instead of paying for 10 archers or just 10 archers, you're paying for 5 archers and 5 spearmen, which is perfect for Warcry, where you don't necessarily need 10 archers. You'll just need 5. Same for the spearmen. And then you got the cow warriors, which is you could build in with different weapons. I think they do that with the Slanesh one as well. They advertise in the box where you could build the armored dudes and the possessed dudes, which you normally wouldn't do for AOS because it's the unit comes with 5 guys, and you can't mix and match variants within the unit. But in Warcry, you can do that. You get your box of 5 Slaneshi warriors, and you can build 3 of them as the armored ones, and 2 of them as the possessed ones, and use the models, which is super cool. So I think these are great. I'm very tempted about the Lumineth one, but I don't know. I already got a lot of stuff I need to work on. So
Yeah. Well, I think these will be good pickups, honestly,
yeah,
depending on the price.
yes.
But
Let's see if my sources have their price,
I would
and they
assume
do. These are gonna be
60.
oh my gosh, they're like $80.
Are they $80?
Right. The Stormcast one is 60, but like the Lumineth one is 80, which I guess is a sale because if you buy these individually, it's like $110. Um, so you are saving money, but they're still expensive in the first place. Yeah, I
Yes.
think I think the Lumineth and the Slanesh one, they're $110 if you buy them separately. The Stormcast one is probably like I think it's like $80 if you buy it separately or something.
And the Dagger Cane is definitely $100.
Yeah, so I think that's also $80. Yep, because that's a fifth, two fifth, a 15 and $60 box. So yeah, you're saving like $30. So if you want to play Warcry, this is an amazing pickup in my opinion. This is your warband,
Yep.
you know.
It's just an army that catches your eye. These are good pickups.
I do wish they were range items because these are limited, and I don't mean like once they sold out, they won't make more. It's more like they'll make it for a few months, and then after that they'll stop making them and just sell through the stock.
Yeah. Well, it's their selling point, right? Get them when you
Right,
can.
right.
But moving on from Kill to or Warcry, we got 40k. We got made to order ethereals, which I don't know why anyone would want these really, other than to say that they have.
Yeah, I guess so. If you want ethereals.
Just stick with the Space Pope and his Pope Mobile. Trust me, better deal, cooler model. And then we got Lord of the Rings. Got some Mines of Moria goblins, some Easterling models, which I'm surprised that Easterlings were very popular, seeing how many models they keep getting every time Lord of the Rings gets announced.
I think this is the command group made to order, or the old one, because there's a new one which is more expensive, but these are the old stuff. And I think those warriors are metal, because right now there's the plastic kit, but these are the metal guys.
Uh, if I recall, everything should be plastic except for the commander and the flag bearer.
Yeah, the current stuff, but I think before the plastics came out, these were the metal ones that they had before the plastic box came out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, I
because
mean,
the
all my
posers are
Easterlings.
very. What's up?
I said all my Easterlings on foot, besides the character special ones, they're all plastic. So.
Yeah, I think the metal ones were phased out at that point. I think these came out right when the movie came out, so probably before we started playing.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, because the pose is very. There's like 2 poses, which is very typical of metal models. Um, but Yeah, I guess if you want the old, I mean, I don't know why you'd want the like kind of like the ethereals, like just get the plastic ones. I don't know why anyone would want the old metal ones. The plastic ones are pretty much superior in every way.
Yeah, well, then you got all these other elven special characters as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be passing. I mean, plastic is way better than whatever this is, pewter. But there you go, Lord of the Rings. Your game's coming back up because we got that Lord of the Rings TV series coming around.
Indeed.
And Necromunda, we got some Necromunda terrain, which is nice to have for your
Yeah.
small skirmishes, your kill
It's a
teams.
bundle of current stuff, which is cool. I feel like. I mean, I think Donnie has this terrain. It's pretty awesome. I've seen them up close.
Yeah, well, it'd be nice to have for the skirmish games. Imperial Aeronautics, we got the Eldar ships finally coming.
Yeah, but they're resin. Damn it.
No loss on mine because I'm not buying it. So,
There you go.
and then White Dwarf, we got this stuff. We got I think this one has some Necromunda rules in it.
Yeah, it has some necro. It has Beasts of Chaos, so that means I'm not getting a book anytime soon because they are getting ghouls and White Dwarf.
I'm sure they're fine.
I hope so.
But yeah, my group was talking about picking this up and finally starting the Necromunda now that we're not on the LVO schedule.
Oh, if you guys play, I'm so down to play necro.
Yeah, you can teach us. But
Yes.
we got that. We got some keychains, which who cares really? It's definitely gonna be overpriced. Got a little Age of Sigmar pin badge, probably be overpriced. And then we got Warhammer Plus, which War Master Stormvolts. Is that interesting?
No, I kind of don't care about Stormbolts. I think they're like dungeons where artifacts and enemies are kept. I mean,
So it's just like a prison
it's
and
like
a
a
treasure
prison. Exactly.
treasure
Not
cove.
exactly.
No, okay. I thought it'd be way more interesting.
No, I wish, but no. This is actually a lore video I have zero interest in, even if I'm just playing in the background.
Well, okay then. But that's all this stuff coming for pre-order this week. So moving on, we got a little bit more Necromunda news about the Ash Waste. Did you happen to read this interview?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, you excited?
Oh, I am so hyped for the Ash Waste for some reason. I guess because I'm a fan of the setting of the wasteland kind of thing. Like I love Fallout, I love Borderlands. So I was watching Wally with my girlfriend the other night. And I was like, man, I really want to play Ash Waste right now because there's that scene where he's like he's digging the trash and it's like a desert wasteland. I'm like, man, I want my Orlocks to be fighting in some desert town with like trash everywhere. Sounds it's pretty hype. But I'm super excited about Ash Waste. The Ash Wastes. Can't even say it properly.
It's definitely a tongue twister.
Yeah. But yeah, like I think when this has come out, I'm for sure if we're not doing Necro, I'm gonna ask people to play Necro. Because it seems like the article, it's not just a book, it's gonna be a season more or less, where there's gonna be a box, there's gonna be several books. I'm not really interested in the vehicle combat as much, but I'm it's just the setting. I like Necro, but I'm not the biggest fan of the Underhive kind of thing. But again, I love desert wasteland or just wasteland type of stuff in the outside where there's radiation and mutants and shanty towns, Mad Max, all that cool stuff. So this is exciting. I will say this is right now, like 30K has no real news besides Cabana, and this is my primary thing I'm looking forward to. At least that's been confirmed. The box set has been for 30K has been rumored, but nothing solid yet. But this, we know that we're getting some Wastelanders here.
Well, I mean, at this point, 30K is just gonna be a Warhammer Day thing
Yeah,
because they're not gonna, they're never gonna give us that two-player box until then.
yeah, for real.
But
But yeah, once this comes out, I'm gonna be asking you guys and everyone I know who plays Warhammer, like, hey guys, time to play some Fallout in Necromunda, Fallout, Borderlands, Mad Max kind of type of thing.
well, I know my group's interested. It's just they're more of the I want to play with my big army kind of deal. So it's hard to get them to play the skirmish games at times.
That's fair.
And then of course, I'm gonna have to know all the rules because no one else is gonna get into it.
It's funny. I don't know if I brought this up in the podcast a while ago or anything, but there was one time, maybe I mentioned hobby rants, but there was one time I was hobbying. I was hanging out with Will at his place, and I was hobbying, and Will and his girlfriend Emily, they're playing a game of AOS. And Emily, Will's girlfriend, she's played war games before. She's played a lot of War Machine, so she's kind of familiar with war games. So Will decided to teach her AOS Third Edition with the full rules. I think everything minus secondaries and faction rules. So full units, full movement phase, 1,000 points, all that. Stormcast versus goblins. And I was watching and I'm watching them play and watching, Will teaching Emily and then both of them learning the rules because Will doesn't, hasn't played too much recently. And I'm thinking, man, like AOS has so much rules. Like I think AOS is more complicated than Necro as a game, just because there's just so much. Like there's this I remember this part where Emily's trying to I think she was using the Stormcast commander, and he had like three special rules. Stuff like where if he deep strikes, he gets a bonus, and then if he deep strikes, the Stormcast near him get a bonus. And he has like three weapons, and it's like, wow, there's so much in this one card. And then Will's trying to figure out his goblins with their command abilities affecting squigs and goblins, and it's just like, wow, there's so much. And then there's the heroic actions and all that. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just like thinking that, wow, this is really complicated, and Necromunda doesn't seem that crazy if you've never played. I mean, for us we've played a lot of Warhammer, Age of Sigmar and 40K, who are very similar. Necromunda might takes a lot of learning, right? But I think just from the ground up, side by side, the rules complexity of war games now, I guess Games Workshop ones, they're definitely up there. And Necromunda isn't just like, oh, it's more complicated than 40K. I think the complexity is about even at this point, just because of how big the games are, and Necromunda is trying to capture every single minutia of the battle because it's a skirmish game.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think learning Necro wouldn't be. I don't think it's gonna be crazy. Honestly, like I think with Necro, most of the complexity really is in the post game RPG stuff, where you're going to the market, you're leveling up your guys, you're rolling for injuries, stuff like that. But the game itself isn't too difficult. I'd say.
Well, I mean, if it has some similarities to 40K, then it'll go easily. It's just instead of operating squads, you're operating individuals.
Exactly. I mean, it's the same thing. You move, you get two actions. And it's kind of different because it's an action system as opposed to a phase system, but it's the same. When you move a guy, he moves whatever inches it says on his movement stat. When he shoots, it's his ballistic skill plus some modifiers if there's cover, etc., and all that. Um, yeah, like yeah, it's there's definitely similarities in a good way. Strength wounding is the same, so if you're double strength, it's a 2 up, same strength 4 up,
Right.
fire's a 3 up, stuff like that. So I guess my point being that if all our listeners who play Warhammer 40K or AOS, if you want to jump into Necro, like don't be intimidated. It's definitely doable
And cheaper.
and and way cheaper. So you say that, right? You say it's cheaper, and then you realize because Necro is so terrain heavy, and then you start seeing Facebook posts or Instagram posts of people with amazing Necro terrain, then you start buying like 5 packs of that of the Sunday preview terrain and you just build a giant board.
Yeah, I would say majority of your money would be spent on terrain.
Yeah. But man, Necro terrain, because you don't have to worry about functionality, you can do some crazy stuff like sewage pipes with water. You could do corpse vats. You could do like a shanty town with rock facings and cliffs and all that. It's crazy. Necro terrain is another level in terms of just wargaming terrain. I think it's up there with like World War II, like bolt action, Flames of War type, you know, uh war gamers who just go all out on their terrain, like necro terrain, man, it is crazy. And now talking about this and making me more excited. And now I'm gonna go to the Games Workshop website and look at necro stuff.
I'm looking at my
Yeah.
box of Redemptionists right now, just
Oh,
waiting.
let's go. I got my
Redemptionists and
cop.
Butchers.
Now it's like should I play cops? Should I start a new game? Like I don't know what to do.
Oh, I have to wait until the Ash Wastes come out.
Actually, that's so cool. You got freaking no desert nomads and their mutant camels. And it's not even just like I'm just ranting on or hype at this point. It's for me again. It's not even just the models, which are already super cool if you've seen the concept art for them, but the setting is just hell yeah, like wastelands, like Fallout theme plays, Borderlands comedy, and the Mad Max vehicle. Oh, so cool, so hyped.
As am I.
30K better step it up, otherwise it's the wastelands for me.
Well, when's Warhammer Day? That's
It's like March
is it
ish,
March? I thought
something like that. Yeah.
it was like July. All right, well,
Oh, is
we
it
got.
okay? Even better. It's longer to wait. That's good.
I mean, I could just look it up right now. Let's see. We got Warhammer Day, uh, 2022. Let's see what we got here. We got. I'll have to look it up. I'll have to look it up during the thing. So we good on Necromunda? Our
Yeah,
hype
we're
down a
good
little
before
bit.
I start splurging on models again, on Necro models.
All right. Well, uh, moving on to the 40K news things. We got some updates on some Eldar stuff, and first up is the Shuriken cannon. Got changed. It looks like the rules for Shuriken weapons is gonna be the same. Add a 2 AP to the weapon if you roll a 6.
Which makes sense, I would say. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, and then we got probably the biggest change is now the Shuriken cannon is going from assault to heavy, which you know, you're like that doesn't really make it a big deal, but it does when you are a uh when you do all that advancing.
Right, right.
So I'd have to take a look at the battle focus again and see if it affects heavy weapons, but I'm sure bikes and other vehicles will not be advancing too far with the shuriken cannons now. Now that they'll get the -1 on them. Or no, they wouldn't be able to fire them.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you can fire at all. You can advance and fire at all.
So that's a hit. It's pretty much took the same approach as the heavy splinter cannon. Same thing. It went from rapid fire 3 to a heavy 3. Also got the -1 AP on it, and it went up in damage. So, I mean, you're gonna kill Marines with it, and if you're lucky, you'll get those exploding 6s for 3. But now you're only getting. I mean, now it's a heavy weapon instead of assault weapon. So,
Right.
I saw this coming. As soon as the changes to the heavy splinter cannon happen, I knew the heavy shuriken cannon was gonna be the same deal.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, not much to talk about on the shuriken weapons. But the biggest thing to have been dropped is the Strands of Fate ability,
Yeah.
which is basically the Sisters of Battle's Fate dice. So, are you familiar with that
The Fate
system?
dice or the Strands of Fate thing.
The Sisters.
The sisters I'm not too familiar with, but the Eldar one I read on it and it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's I mean it's basically the same, except I think if I recall, the Strands of Fate, the Eldar one, you get to roll 6 dice and then choose to keep the dice or not. And then I think with the sisters, depending on your order, I think you roll like 1 dice at the start of the game, and then through other actions, you can uh, store faith dice throughout the game.
Mm.
The Eldar one seems to be you roll this at the start of the start of your turn, and then keep the results, and then for whenever you need it, you can access the Strands of Fate.
Right.
So basically, as it says here, out of those 6 dice, if you roll any of these numbers, let's just say a 5, you can use that one Strand of Fate dice and make it an automatic 6 on your wound roll. So that would be good for the Avatar or anyone with high damaging second ability melee weapons or shooting, right?
Mhm.
Like 6s do an additional mortal wound kind of deal.
Right.
So you can only use this like I think once per unit, I believe is what it said.
Mm.
If I read it right. So it's not like you attack with a unit of scorpions, you roll a lot of stuff and you exchange all of those dice for 6s. It's only gonna be one, so it's not gonna be too broken. But yep, we are adopting the faith dice system, so it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see what happens.
yeah. I mean, it mitigates RNG, which is always, and I think, good. Knowing that, like, oh, I have a 6 for a psychic test, or I have a 6 for a
Saving throw.
saving throw. That's pretty big, because
Yeah,
there's those times like, if I make this, if I make the save, then I win, or the turn is going to be great for me.
yeah.
If
It's
I
just like
wound, right, then now you could manipulate that. So
yeah. It's just like for the saving throw, it's like out of these 3 dice is a guaranteed kill. Exchange one of those saves, and then it doesn't matter if you fail the other 2 saves, because
right,
you're still gonna live off that.
right, exactly. So that's pretty powerful.
Yeah. So I think I think the Eldar cheese is gonna make its return when the book comes out, and
Yes,
I'm excited. I'm
yes,
I'm still hoping that my aspect warriors are good. I'm looking at my banshees and my scorpions here. Hope they're good. From what I've seen, they're good, but you gotta see the points.
right.
But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to putting the dust off my Craft World Eldar and bringing them back out to play.
Yeah, I'm not even mad that Eldar are gonna be OP. Like, it's just the way of the world. Why fight the natural order of things?
Elves are OP in AOS. Elves are gonna be
Yeah.
OP. Well, I mean, elves are already OP in 40k, but another faction of elves are gonna be OP in 40k.
Now all the elves are gonna be OP. Definitely back to the state of things.
It's balanced, like everything should be.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. And then we got our new model Monday. And what did they decide to drop? They decided to drop all the Corsairs finally, which I hate it. I
This
hate
is
it.
a this is so cool.
I
Not a
hate it
fan.
because it is so cool.
Oh, this is so cool.
I like. I was hoping, man. I hope they're stupid because I don't want to buy them. And here we are.
This is like the coolest. These are the coolest Eldar models, I think, like, ever.
It's so.
I-
I hate it. The one with the double knives and the cloak head. The
Oh,
cloak
and the
head.
warp spider generator
Yeah, that's my favorite model.
is so cool.
Just give me an army of that. I'm like, yeah, these are my new striking scorpions right here.
There you go. It's so sick. Oh, of course, there's. I just can't imagine what the chaos team is gonna be. I hope it's like.
It'll be something
I
lame. It'll be renegade
think
guardsmen.
it's big cult. Yeah, because you can't really, because they did Chosen already, and Chosen will be the ideal choice, and it's not gonna be Chosen.
I
Which
bet
is okay. Which is okay.
I bet it'll be the it'll be that cultist character that was in the leaks a long time ago. I bet that's who it'll be.
I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
I bet it'll be him in this box set.
Gosh, these are so cool.
Oh, they're
I
great.
was looking at them. The paint job is amazing too. It's like the Dark Eldar style, color. And I like how he has elements of Dark Eldar and Eldar. You got the Guardian helmet, and you got the Warrior helmet. Got this guy with the Ranger long rifles. This is so cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you go down, scroll to these pictures, yeah. Apparently, they will have a portable Wraith cannon.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Wonder how that's gonna work in Kill Team.
It'll probably be like one shot, and you gotta be super close to shoot it. Because if I recall, again, I haven't played Eldar 8th or 9th edition, but Wraith cannons are usually 12 inches, so I assume you're gonna need to be pretty close to launch this thing.
Yeah. We probably delete anything you shoot at.
Bring back the insta death on 6s.
Oh man, let's do it.
That would make people rage so much.
Gosh, this is so cool. Kill Team is amazing. If you haven't played Kill Team yet, listeners, play Kill Team. It is great. If you want a skirmish game, 740k, go play. Don't listen to the haters. And there's not very a lot of haters anyway. The haters are just people who are saying that the lack of customization is there, or there is a lack of customization. I mean, but honestly, with these new teams, they're very customizable. So
What little I've played of Kill Team, I've enjoyed. And I think that's just because it's definitely play tested a lot better than the OG Kill Team.
yeah, and it's really helped by the new teams. I mean, because Kill Team is fun with the compendium stuff like Space Marines, Dark Eldar, how all that. Well, old Tab, but really the new teams, the Commandos, the Kriegers, the Sister Scouts, these guys, the Tau Pathfinders, and the White Dwarf stuff are Gene Stealers and AdMech. They really up the customization and just the uniqueness. I don't
Well,
even like. It'll be cool to see what some of these guys do. There's the guy with the warp spider generator with the two knives. There's the ranger, the long rifle guy. There's the warlock type thing. This is awesome.
well, it's like what I said when Kill Team 2.0 was, starting to get announced, and back when God, what was that box set that we were all disappointed at? It was pre 2.0. It was the one with the heavy intercessors and the Necrons.
Oh yeah. Prime Nexus.
Brian Nexus, yeah. I remember I was saying back then, I was like, they need to copy Warcry, and they just need to start inventing kill teams. They had it. They had some innovative kill teams with the Giller Pox and the
The Rogue Traders.
no, what was it? The
Yeah, it was the Rogue Traders.
oh, Rogue Traders. Sorry, I heard you say Infiltrators. I was like, no, that's not right.
Yeah, Rogue Traders.
Yeah, they had that, but I mean, that was it. That was like the only unique teams that they had, if I recall.
Right.
See, with this, we got the Kriegers, like you said, the Orcs. This is obviously going to be Eldar versus Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
So, more of these. Just copy Warcry. Trust me, it's going to work. Because, in my opinion, when you have armies built for the game, it makes it a lot better.
Yes.
And a lot easier to get
I
into.
agree.
Instead of having to just take my Thousand Suns army and then just dump them into the game. I would probably am gonna buy the Eldar Corsairs.
Yep. Because they're awesome.
They are.
And I love my Orc Commandos. I had a great time building and painting them. And they're super fun on tabletop. The rules are very well thought out, and it makes sense for the game.
Yeah. I think the only thing that at least with my group, they don't like the measurement system. That
Yeah,
I don't understand what's a square and a circle
yeah,
movement. I don't understand this. It's like,
yeah. That just needs getting used to. It is really annoying. But the thing, if that's the biggest con for your game, that's a good game. Because once you get used to that, it's not a non-issue, right?
right.
But I agree, it is a pain in the butt.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice if they just been like 3 inches,
Or
five
at least
inches.
make the symbols make sense. And by that I mean, I think a triangle is 1 inch, right? It's like, should a triangle be 3 inches because there's three sides, or make a pentagon 5 inches, or a hexagon 6 inches because there's six sides, like, but no, like, I think a circle is 2 inches. Like, why is it 2 inches a circle?
Yeah, I
That
don't know. It's a
is weird. But
weird
yeah,
system.
but Kill Team is great. Besides that, it's awesome for what it's trying to do.
Yeah, and then and again, they're releasing cool models,
Yes.
and these are probably the most well done models of the series, in my
Hmm.
opinion. You can say what you want about the Kriegers, but
The Kriegers. I mean, the Kriegers are cool, but they're ultimately just variations of Death Corpse guy with different weapon or equipment. I mean, there's the medic and the Vox guy, but I mean, freaking Warp Spider knife guy is way different than Wizard guy, who is also way different from heavy weapon Goku guy. I mean, yeah, they have the same armor, but just because they're Corsairs, they're not like a military unit. There's definitely a lot of variations. Same with the Orc Commandos. There's the Orc Commando with the shirt, and there's the Orc Commando with the beanie, and there's the Orc Commando with the the Burna, and he has like welding gear on. Super different, right?
right,
But yeah, you make a good point because the sisters and the guardsmen have the same issue where it's just you have the regular trooper, and everyone's just a variation of that, and they don't really go that they're not that much different. Same for the Pathfinders. You got your
yeah, I was
Pathfinder
gonna
and
say
the
the Tau is
Pathfinder.
pretty much the same.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not saying, like, to be fair, like these Corsairs, they are again wearing the same armor, but some of them have way different stuff on them than the others, and each model is definitely unique. So they're
And that's
very
what I
beautiful.
like. That's why GW's already got my money. This product's not even out yet, and they got it.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's all the Warhammer news. So I'm gonna take this off the screen here, and you got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean, in terms of news, nothing. No real wargaming news from the other war games I play. Legion, been quiet. No announcements yet. I'm not even sure if there's releases we're waiting. I don't even think Legion has any pre-orders right now.
Uh,
Um,
well, I since you mentioned Legion, something came to my mind here. When I was at LVO, of course, it was one of our friend's birthday during the LVO, so we went and got him a Yoda and some Chewbacca's, some Wookiees for his Star Wars Legion. That one Yoda that was so hard to get, we found one
uh-huh.
at LVO.
Nice.
Got it for him. So I was able to find it. Didn't have to go to Canada, but it was
Man,
nice to get.
I'm looking at my Yoda right now. I am so happy I have him. And I gotta pay him and play that busted tank list with Yoda and Padme. Although Yoda Wookiees, I heard, is pretty good.
Yeah, I just went off the information that you gave me. I was like, yeah, Yoda and Wookiees. Yeah, man, that seems like a good buy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Wookiees are cool. Yoda's great.
Yep. And then well, other LVO things I bought. I bought a Resident Evil 3 board game.
Oh,
I never go into this, but I'm like a huge Resident Evil fan, so I was like, you know what? I'll buy this board game. I'll give it a shot. I'll see what happens. And if anything, you know what? I'll just paint up the models to look nice and just decorate my room with them, I guess.
there you go.
That's like me and Fallout. I got the Fallout the core set. I got it on sale. It was like something like $80. Got it for 60. And I think I painted one Brotherhood of Steel guy because he's just lead belcher, dry brush, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but I haven't touched it since. The Fallout Wasteland Warfare.
That's how a lot of my board games are. But we have a friend who's been on the show, Raul.
Mm.
He's really into board games right now, and he is like that man has a problem because he just kickstarts every board game that he sees. So he has like 80 board games right now, and
Oh my
I
god.
think this year we're gonna make an effort to spend like one day playing board games and just see what's good out there. You know, I'll give my opinions on what we have that's good.
That's always fun. Yeah, I mean, I once in a while I play board games with my buddies too, and board games are cool. But it kind of like video games. Some board games are better than others. So
Of course,
you
you'll
know,
you wanna you wanna drive me away. Play a resource management game, okay? I will. I am not touching those games.
Scythe, Scythe. That's a great game, but it's absolutely a resource management game.
Well, okay. Let me clarify. Not all resource management games are bad, but like when I have to manage like 20 different things, I'm lost. I'm
Oh,
done.
I feel yeah. There's definitely games. Scythe is like that. Scythe is one of the more well-known board games in the miniatures game community. But yeah, it has minis, but it's don't let the robots, you know, fool you. It's a game where you farm iron and wheat, and the robots are just there to prevent the other guy from farming your wheat and iron.
I remember playing Scythe. I don't recall it being too bad. It was okay game.
Okay. But yeah, I remember I played a few times and we got really into it and it went from like I remember my first game, it was like, oh, I want to blow up your mechs and my mechs. And like by the third game, I'm like, man, how do I maximize my reproduction? Um
Yeah, I think someone pulled out some BS and then just took the game away from me. He's like,
not much.
but you see,
Well,
I can just do this, and then he just won. I was like, oh, well, okay then.
well rip.
Yeah, but I mean, we're already ranting, but you got any hobbying going on?
Yeah, I just finished some Black Templar's characters. I finished my Apothecary and my Tech Marine. So now
Tech
I just
Marine.
have my Tech Marine. So now I got Grimaldus and Helbrecht left, and I'm done with 2000. But I think I'm gonna take a break and paint some Heresy robots. I primed my Castellax. So and I did the brown on them. So now I think I'm gonna spend the week trying to finish those. I forgot how I said this too. Maybe it was in the podcast, but I was like, yeah, this one robot costs the same points as 10 Space Marines. So
Yeah, I think you said
very
that last
points
week.
efficient. Oh yeah, there we go. So I'm priming this 6 Castellax, and I'm like, wow, this is like the equivalent of 60 Space Marines plus more if I give them more gear, like because it's 30K, right? So
Yeah, I I had, I know I said last year I was gonna buy Helbrecht and Grimaldus, and that'd be my last purchase of 2021. But yeah, last week I just ordered Helbrecht and Grimaldus, so you know I can finally put an end to my Black Templar army
oh,
once and
there you
for
go,
all.
there you go.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame when the Warhammer store closes because I'm like
Yeah,
I don't want to drive super far to go pick up all this stuff, especially when I need paints.
oh, that's an awesome line for us getting paints.
Yeah, I know I should use like the Vallejo paints. Is that what they're called?
Yeah,
I know everyone says the Vallejo paints are better, but you know I stick with what I know, and that's the GW Citadel paints.
use Vallejo, and I've used Vallejo, Army Painter, and GW. I think they're about the same. Actually, I think Army Painter is slightly inferior to Vallejo and GW. But I think Vallejo and GW are essentially the same. I think it's just a preference of what you're used to, and if well, I will say this: dropper bottles are superior to Games Workshop pots, but as in terms of the paint, I think the layers and the base paints they're more or less the same in my experience. Contrast is pretty amazing for what it does. Games Workshop washes I really like. They're just the most consistent. I've had some inconsistency with different companies' washes, but in terms of the regular colors, I think yeah, just kind of I my best recommendation is stick with what you're used to.
Of course. Even if they are super expensive and easy to dry out, I just stick with what I got.
Yeah, if you're used to it, just why change it
For the efficiency, John. That's why you change it.
for the efficiency?
Efficiency and money.
Oh
Money
man.
being the big part. But yeah, that's coming. I don't know when that's coming because it's GW. They work on their own time. I just hope the paints don't explode like the last time I ordered paints from them.
That would suck.
Yeah, I ordered a blue wash. I got it, a
Oof.
whole box, and the model that I ordered it with covered in blue wash. I was like, God damn it.
Usually they're pretty good with replacing those though, right?
Yeah, I got another one back.
That's good, but it is annoying. That's definitely sounds annoying.
But yeah, I basically took a week off hobbying because I was, I just spent my time at LVL. I was like, you know what, relax, play some video games.
There you go.
Don't worry about anything. And I think I have my eyes set on the Resident Evil board game right now that I really want to paint.
All right, there you go.
Because it's small models, so it's a lot easier to dunk out of the way.
Right.
But in terms of future plans here, we are, at least my group is going to do an escalation league. I think we're going to do that once a month, every first Wednesday. And I'm thinking I might do a series on it.
Oh, I'm down. I'll play.
It'll be a fun narrative thing kind of deal. But we'll do that, and then yeah, I don't know. I gotta wait for my Eldari book to come out and see if they're good, and I'll transfer over to them.
Should be this month, based on how they've been previewing stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be this month because I mean I don't know why they wouldn't release it this month.
Right.
But speaking of codex releases, who do you think would be next?
It's after Tyranids.
So you think it's gonna be Tyranids?
Well, they said it. They said it's Tyranids. They sneakily said it in the article.
Oh,
The other codex, yeah.
I guess I didn't read that part.
Yeah, it was kind of in the bottom. It's one of those things where they just barely mentioned it, and people usually forget because I mean I didn't see it until someone pointed out to me in a Facebook group like, oh, Tyranids are coming out. It's like, oh, right here.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. I guess after Tyranids, do you think it's gonna be Chaos or
I think
IG?
it's gonna be Chaos. And what's left? It's demons, right? It's Chaos. It's Guard, Chaos,
It's Guard, Demons, and
Barbarians, and that's it.
yeah, that would be it. That because Harlequins got roped into the Eldari book.
Yep.
I feel like are we not? Yeah. I guess so. Space Marines 2.0. That's apparently coming.
2.0.
Which is gonna be weird. Which I guess makes sense, right? Because we're what 2 years into 9th edition now.
Yeah.
So if this was a normal thing, we'd already be halfway through the this lifespan of this edition.
I hope they extend the lifespan of this edition. Especially with Chaos coming out.
Well, I think, my opinion, since they're gonna be updating the rules every 6 months, they might as well just add. I mean, I hate myself for saying this. They might as well just add supplements, right? Because there's no reason. I mean, Space Marines, if they're just gonna get a 2.0 book, just make everyone else get a 2.0 book.
Yeah.
Because as much as I like change and all that, 8th and 9th edition really isn't much different
Yeah.
when you compare it to like 7th and 8th.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, why make us? I mean, I know why, but why make us buy another 2-player starter set to get a 10th edition, right?
Right.
This doesn't make sense. But it's GW, and they do like money. I mean, who doesn't?
It do make
So
money. Yeah, it is interesting with the edition thing because I was reading some posts. I think it was on Reddit the other day, and no war game has gotten a third edition that's not Warhammer. I think was it third? It was like third, no, fourth edition. Sorry, no war game has gone through a fourth edition,
I was gonna say,
and
is it
most
War
of
Machine at 3rd edition?
yes, and sorry, yeah, I think it was no most war games don't go past third. So yeah, War Machine is in third edition right now. X-Wing is in second. Legion has had a first edition. BattleTech is I think on its third edition. Infinity is Infinity. Actually, I think Infinity is in its fourth edition. Let me look. But Infinity is like a skirmish game. Maybe that counts. Sort of books and supplies. Infinity is
Well, I mean,
yeah, I think it's in fourth. Yeah, it's an N4. Never mind. Yeah, it's in fourth edition. There you go. But four games rarely go to fourth edition.
right. Well, I mean, it's just GW, and when they think they can't make any money, that's when the reboot of the edition happens. So they can be like, "Yeah, you see that book? That $50 book? It's trash. You need to buy our $70 book now." It's basically the same with a few minor changes, and that's why I don't buy physical books anymore.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
Unless I'm gonna bring him to like a tournament, then I have to have the book because you're if your opponent requests to see your book, it's the right thing to do is to give them your book so they can look at what they need to look at.
Agree completely.
But I think that was a successful rant. I would say
That was good. It was good.
I had a lot of fun stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff to be hyped about.
Yes, definitely some stuff to be hyped about, and I am hyped. Freaking Ash Wastes. Ugh. And 40k now. I'm building some 40k and 30k too. It's. I think it's gonna be a good year for Warhammer.
I would hope so because the last 2 years, I mean, blame it on COVID, blame it on the shipping problems. Not been good for GW.
Yeah,
They've
definitely.
been taking L after L for the past 2 years. I don't really know any W's they really got other than if your army was good and you got a
Right,
codex.
right.
Those are the little W's. I don't know any big W's that they got. But I'd like to thank everyone who made it to the end, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, let everyone.
Goodbye.